morning, Rotterdam. Today, our weekly business program will be devoted to a well-known company. We will take you into the backstage of a qualitative analysis of Royal Dutch Shell Company. The Royal Dutch Shell was founded in 1907 by the fusion of the Royal Dutch Petroleum Company and the English Shell Transport and Trading Company. It's a multinational Dutch-English oil company headquartered in The Hague. It is the second largest company worldwide and one of the most valuable oil companies. Shell is currently divided into 4 divisions, which are the following. First one is upstream, secondly integrated gas and new energies, downstream, and finally projects and technology. Following this, the business strategy appears at the level of the whole company, at the level of each business group, and also at the level of the functional subgroups.
Well as scorecard mapping, it's a kind of cause-effect correlations. It describes how the aims, processes, and learning and target points defined in the table support each other. For example, revenue increasing. It can be achieved by gaining new customers and maintaining the relation with existing customers. In order to this, Shell must develop new products which are at high quality and produced in accordance with the security and environmental regulations. This is supported at the level of exact actions, the oil handling, for example by reducing the environmental pollution through the use of biofuel for the transport. At the level of learning and growth, almost every element supports this. The scorecards were obtained after collecting and gathering data and all key performance indicators concerning Shell organization.
So the first section is the risk management, and it is vital that Shell management recognise which matters may constitute a risk when striving to achieve their objectives. In terms of external risks, an example is that Shell have engineers and other employees working offshore on oil rigs, and it can come at great risk of something happening which may injure employees and also the environment. An example being that Shell employees must now follow 12 life-saving rules at all times. These were introduced in 2009 and cover the most critical safety hazards that have caused loss of life in the past activities. Since introducing, they have achieved a notable reduction in fatalities and injuries and run regular campaigns to remind people what these rules are. By Shell saying this, it shows that they've analysed the previous situation regarding safety and deemed it not successful to implement these changes, which has so far decreased the amount of harm to employees and minimised risk of injury. The 12 rules include the likes of ensuring employees have a valid permit for using equipment, authorisation for entering confined spaces, and to protect themselves from working at height. In terms of process risk management, which are like well-designed facilities that are safely operated and properly maintained to prevent leaks of hazardous materials which can damage the environment. Shell strives to adopt all the global regulations that regard this process safety, and state on the company report that they identify and assess risks that have potential to become an incident and take the necessary steps to mitigate and eliminate them. The training program also helps to create a working culture that increases risk awareness and prevents safety incidents. Further analysis discovered that Shell have an emergency response plan, which therefore helps them to swiftly implement any decisions to help better any unforeseen crises such as oil spills, fires or explosions. They also create scenarios which involve the safe evacuation of the platforms or office buildings. This is for helps to test and for management to make changes and improvements of their plans. By having these plans in place, it helps perhaps minimise the full risk of potential issues due to the fact that Shell will be able to counter the problems quickly before they manage to turn into more major and serious problems. For the next part of the report, the financial ratios will be discussed for Shell to show how this will help them minimise risk. So the first one is the liquidity ratio, and for 2016 the end ratio was 0.88 which is down from 1.09 in 2015. This is due to the fact that if it's a ratio of less than 1, this means that Shell have the risk of not being able to pay the short-term debt with the current assets, and also may mean that Shell are paying bills too quickly or collecting their accounts receivable too slow, meaning they do not have enough money to cover short-term debts. Management could therefore address this issue by trying to extend payment periods to encourage faster payments to themselves or from their customers. Shell management could do this by perhaps offering discounts for customers paying quickly. The end result would be an asset ratio of over 1, meaning Shell will be safer, less risky position, and not being able to pay their suppliers. Another option for Shell management would be to invest more in assets to try to match the asset value to the short-term debt liabilities. The next ratio is the current ratio, which for 2016 was 1.17. Although it's a decrease from 1.32 in 2015, it's still positive position for Shell, as this test shows that they are in fact able to pay their short-term debts with their assets if they include all the stock held.
The whole quality management system is developed in parallel with the main strategies of the company based on risk assessment approach. The structure of the quality management system can be seen on the following diagram. The audit plan aims to supervise and check each element of the quality management system done by independent consultants. A whole audit plan has been drawn up by our team. The audit will review aspects of the facilities, safety, health, environmental and quality compliance process. The audit will be based on the relevant ISO standards as well as applicable Shell site-specific policies and procedures. Operational leaders' participation in the opening and closing meeting of the audit is critical to its success. The audit will be conducted by taking into consideration the possible risks are related to those key areas which have contributions to achieve the company's goals and objectives. The audit questions can be categorized into the following groups: actions to address risks and opportunities, environmental objectives, and planning actions to achieve environmental objectives.
I'm now going to talk about how really customers submit their complaints to the company. So, complaint procedures differs in every country in which the company works. So that means that's not a worldwide platform or system that is the same for everybody, but is always different. So in many countries there's not real procedures, but complaints are just submitted through Facebook or Twitter or by emails. But in this case, like, the company doesn't really care about that. Like, these complaints aren't really taking consideration, and that's a big problem because Shell is a big company and customer satisfaction is like the basis for like the future of a company. Things are different in the United Kingdom. In fact, in that country, the company like works together with Resolver. That's a free online platform that allows customers to submit their complaint directly to Shell. So, like, if a British citizen have to complain to Shell, it just need to open the website, and then this platform guides him like through the creation of a detailed email which specifies everything the company needs to know in order to help later this customer. And so this is basically the procedures, but we have made some recommendation, because even if these procedures, the British procedures, is better than the others, it's not like it could be better. So, like, the main problem is that is not owned by Shell, but by another company. So Shell hasn't really a complete management of his complaints. So basically, in the UK, the complaints are sent by the customer and then directly to the company, and they are addressed to like a specialized person that cares about these complaints, and then a solution will be found through different steps. The main improvement we wanted to present to Shell is that creating a case file database where save every complaint made by customers. In this way, every time a customer complains to the company, all the complaints will be saved together, and then it will be great if, for example, there is another case similar to a previous one. The platform owned by Shell could find the similar case and then apply the solution for that case to that new one. And in this case, if the solution satisfies the customer, so the procedure is done, and if not, the new complaint will be sent to the company, who will take care about the complaint again, and then when the solution will be found, it will be stored with the case, both the new one and the oldest one.
Now we're going to talk about the quality management system the company decided to put in act. Okay, so the nature of the business exposes Shell to a wide variety of health, security, safety and environmental risks that embrace also the lack of safety, personal health and natural disaster, such as, for example, earth tremors. Therefore, the company opted for the adoption of a management system mainly focused on these four main areas, so health, safety, security and environment. We call it HSSE, Quality Management System. So if an event falling into one of the categories we have already said, the company could incur in significant additional costs due to non-conformity to the HSSE Quality Management system, or a result of violation of laws and regulations. So safety is one of the main topics the quality management system covers. For the accountable distribution of energy. And Shell develops its product in such a way as to prevent any incident that may incur harm the employees, joint ventures, nearby communities, and cause damage to activities. So its safety aim is called Goal Zero Ambition, and it aims to achieve no harm across all processes. And Shell safety process ensure that the right precautions are underway to prevent especially unexpected releases of hydrocarbons that could come from spill, leaks, or any other technical failure or breakdown. So the system, the company adopts a system called bow-tie system. So where process safety risks are managed through response barriers and deterrents. For example, Shell offshore wells are equipped with at least 2 independent barriers that are regularly inspected and maintained, and to mitigate the risk of uncontrolled release of hydrocarbons. So, considering the nature of the business, of the activity carried out, Shell has to pay particular attention to the preservation of environment. And the company uses global environmental standards, such as those developed by the World Bank and International Finance Corporation. And the preservation of the environment is mainly focused on the emission of greenhouse gases. So because the emission of fossil fuels are contributing to the global warming. So Shell is committed to achieving the challenging goal of limiting the increase of global temperature below 2 centigrades, according to the International Energy Agency, even if this means introducing policies and regulations that may have a material adverse effect on the company. So Shell continually have to balance the need to limit the increasing of temperatures with the demand, of energy. Yes. Okay. So the biofuel business is also an important topic for the preservation of the environment. So the international market is growing, driven principally by the introduction of new energy rules in Europe and in the USA that require more renewable and lower carbon fuel for transport. Another important topic that Shell deals with is the risk of incurring in large spills of crude oil, petroleum products, and chemicals. It's particularly high. It's particularly high in this market. Finally, we talk about security, and because the oil, energy, and petrochemical sector has always been exposed to social instability, such as civil unrest, terrorism, piracy, acts of war, and risk of pandemic diseases. So the company implements appropriate risk mitigation measures to identify and respond to security threats by collecting using useful information. A solid relationship with the government security agency is carried out.
It's generally agreed today that customers have more power than ever. So on the one hand, if a customer has a positive experience, he will most likely share this experience with his surroundings, such as friends, family. So thus, it'll inevitably not only grant the company a better image on how they are seen, but it'll also allow them to potentially attract new customers, and all that at zero cost. On the other hand, if a customer is, however, unsatisfied, this will provoke inevitably a negative image regarding the brand. So according to a research led by Esteban Kolsky, 13% of unhappy customers will share their bad experience, so complaints, with 15 or more people. So however, one should never forget that indeed customers' complaint always or mostly highlights a problem, whether it's about the product or service provided, within the internal processes, or even directly with employees. So this means that by hearing these problems directly from your customers, you can explore you can explore the problem deeper in order to improve and solve this matter. Therefore, it'll prevent further complaints in the near future. So when it comes to handling customer complaints, it's easier said than done, of course. In order to turn complaints into an opportunity coming from customers, it's a golden opportunity for the company to turn it into their favor in order to attract more customers, of course. So one should never forget that, first of all, the company needs to listen and understand their discontent. Second, apologize. Many customers are simply just looking for an apology that often the company doesn't refuse to admit that they have made a mistake. Third, they have to find a solution. After, they have to make sure that their customers are satisfied with the solution. So what you have to keep in mind is that customers care more about the quality than a fast response. And last but not least, don't just stop at the apology. The company has to follow through with a promise to resolve the complaints. So as I just mentioned, complaints, you have to explore the problem deeper, improve, solve, and prevent further complaints. So, yes. Okay, so how are the incidents concerning employees are handled? So basically, Shell has a platform available 24 hours, 7 days, so 365 days a year, so yeah. So once you've submitted your complaints online, your report will be sent to a regional coordinator that will assess the report. So first, if the employee disagrees with the response of their complaints, he can submit an objection to the manager of SNPS. Second, if they still disagree with the solution provided, they have the possibility to approach the board of SNPS. Yes, the board is obliged to investigate the complaint. So last but not least, if the employee still does not agree or is not satisfied, he has to initiate legal procedures. But yeah, basically the issue encountered by non-employee will always, no matter what the issue is, be passed to someone that is competent to solve the issue. Yes. So what conclusion can be drawn out of all this? So you have to keep in mind that customer complaints are crucial. Customers whose complaints are handled quickly and efficiently can often turn them into loyal customers. And last but not least, complaints should be seen as an opportunity for the company and not the opposite.